Hey there, hope you're doing well. What's going on? It's Vach, and in this video, I want to talk to you about why you're struggling with overeating. So, if you're overeating, if you find yourself just not being able to lose weight, maybe that's holding you back, you've hit a plateau, you're just struggling with eating more than you plan to, I'm going to go over some reasons why. I'm going to give you some tips, and I hope you find it helpful. All right, so number one, let's just get right into it. Number one, you're eating way too quickly. So, it's difficult, right? It's difficult to eat slowly, right? Especially nowadays that we're on our phones while we're eating. We got the Netflix going while we're eating. We're distracted. So if you are eating way too quickly, first of all, you're not going to feel full, right? It takes a little while for your body to actually send signals to your brain to tell you that you're actually kind of satisfied or full. So I would recommend slowing down. So a couple tips for you slowing down while eating. Like, when was the last time you just ate a meal and you weren't on your phone, right? You weren't distracted. You weren't watching TV. I want you to get rid of the distractions. Don't eat with the TV on. Don't eat with your phone in your hand scrolling through TikTok. Like, I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is take your time while eating, right? Set a timer. Set a timer and maybe you should time yourself. And like, how long is it taking you to eat your meal? If you're eating your meal in 3 minutes, you're going to have to work on that, because you shouldn't be scarfing down your food. Of course, I understand if you're busy, something's coming up, right? Something came up, like you got to kind of quickly eat your food. I totally get that. There's going to be situations like that. But for the most part, if you have time, if you have the opportunity to slow down while eating, I highly recommend that you do that. Okay, so, setting your utensil down between bites, right? Really taking your time, enjoying your food, enjoying each bite. That can be really, really helpful. And that way, you don't just eat it in 3 minutes and then you get up and you go to the pantry looking for some more snacks, right? Take your time with it. Drink some water with your meal. I think that could really help. All right. Number two, your diet is way too restrictive, right? So when you think of dieting, when you think of losing body fat, right? When you think of getting healthier, fitness, right? When you think of these things, you think of your diet being way too, you think of, all right, time to throw out the fun foods. No more fun foods. No more pretzels. No more chips. No more chocolate chips, right? No more potato chips, no more bread. You throw out all your favorite foods, and then you're left with the boring stuff, right? Stuff that you don't really enjoy very much. So you start doing this boring, bland diet, right? Whether it's like keto or low carb, or you just do some random diet where you just eat a bunch of healthy foods even though you hate them, right? So you do that diet, and then you realize, wait a minute, I can't do this anymore. I'm burnt out. I'm going to proceed to actually eat all the foods that I was restricting. I can't take it anymore. I was denying my cravings, right? Which is not healthy to do. So you end up being way too restricted, and then you end up overeating, and then you feel bad, right? And then you go back to restricting again, and then you binge, and then you overeat, and then you go back to restricting. Stop with this cycle. Stop saying to yourself, stop convincing yourself that you can't have certain foods, because that's not true. There are no foods out there that you can't have. Yes, foods that you're intolerant to or for medical reasons, of course, avoid those foods. If you're celiac, gluten, of course. Lactose intolerant with dairy, that's different. What I'm saying is there are no foods out there that you just have to avoid. You're not going to see progress if you eat those foods. Like, that's not the case. Yes, there are foods that are much higher in calories, so you can't eat as much, right? It could knock you out of your calorie deficit. That's different. With those types of foods like ice cream or chips, you want to be a lot more mindful, maybe portion them out in a little bag or opt for the individual little bags. But yeah, your diet is way too restrictive. That's probably one of the main reasons why you're struggling with overeating. You're setting your calories way too low. You're doing some sort of Optavia, Noom, some sort of like 1,000-calorie diet that just isn't enough food for an adult. Like, no. Like, stop with that, all right? You don't need to be going 1,000-calorie, super low-calorie to see progress, okay? You don't have to be doing that, and that's what's stopping you from seeing progress, because you do it for a couple weeks, you want this quick fix, you want the weight off, and then you burn out, and you go back to your old ways, all right? So Enough of the low calorie diets, okay? Super low calorie. Number 3, you're bored. This is a big one. This is another reason why you're struggling with overeating. If you're bored, boredom eating, emotional eating, like these types of things are going to stop you from seeing progress because you're just going to eat when you're not even hungry. So I want you to ask yourself, like, are you actually hungry or are you bored? Like, ask yourself next time you're bored, like, am I hungry enough to eat broccoli out of a bag? Probably not. Well, you're probably not hungry, right? You're probably just bored. Like, insert any food that you don't really like, right? Like, I really hate green beans, but am I hungry enough to eat green beans right now? No? Okay. Well then, I'm not going to eat it, right? Because I'm not actually hungry. I'm just bored, right? So being mindful of the boredom eating, I would say find something to do. Find a non-food related activity to focus on. I think that could really help as well. But yeah, boredom is a big one. Number 4, not eating enough nutritious foods. So if you're kind of just eating whatever, you're not eating enough protein, you're not eating enough fiber, that's really important. You got to eat those nutritious foods, right? And once you start having these balanced meals, once you start eating more nutritious meals, what's going to happen is you're going to be more full, right? You're not going to be constantly snacking an hour after eating your meal. And also, if you're skipping breakfast, like, let's not skip meals. Now, if you really genuinely enjoy intermittent fasting, like I have some clients doing that, like that's totally fine, whatever, right? Like you can do that. But like if you're skipping breakfast to save on calories later throughout the day, you're just self-sabotaging. Like stop doing that. Like that's not helping you out, especially if you landed on this video and this resonates to you. Don't do that, right? Stop skipping meals. I want you to eat a nice balanced meal, all right? So what does a balanced meal look like? Usually a combination of protein, carbs, and fats. You're not going to be perfect with this with every meal, right? But at least have the protein in there and some fiber. Like have some protein, right? That's going to be really important. So maybe like 30 grams of protein with your meals. Like that'd be awesome, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, have some protein. Make sure you have some protein in your meals. That's going to help you stay full. All right. Number 5, you're eating out of the bag. You're eating straight out of the bag. Now, what happens when you get on the couch, you put the TV on, and then you get a big bag of chips, right? Costco size, fun, family size bag. You're just going to eat the entire bag, right? I'm guilty of this too. All right. That's why what I recommend is you get this small size, like the kid size versions. I don't know if they're kid size, but like fun size, whatever they're called. That way you can just it's portioned out for you, right? 150 calories, 130 calories, or whatever it is. Just grab it and eat it, and there you go. You can tackle that craving. You can have your chips. Also, what you can do is you get the big bag, right? Because it's probably cheaper. And then you just take some Ziploc bags and you portion it out. You portion out one serving. Okay, it's that simple. You might be saying to yourself, okay, well, you know, how am I gonna stop myself with just one? Like, if these super highly delicious foods, like, don't have them around all the time, right? But also, make sure that they're out of reach. Don't put them on the counter. Don't put a bag of chips on the counter. That way, when you go out to the kitchen, it's just there, so you grab it. So put it somewhere away. Have the little Ziploc baggie of your serving. Have that serving, and there you go. All right. So hopefully that can help you there. Also, waiting too long to eat. It's another reason why you're struggling with overeating. Just like I was talking about before with the, portioned out bags and having that, it's important to realize that skipping meals, like skipping breakfast, it might be doing more harm than good. Okay. You might be thinking to yourself, if I just skip breakfast and I skip lunch, I could just eat a bunch of food later and I could still lose weight, right? Fasting, it's like on paper, yes, but like you're a human being. Like what's going to really happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen, right? Your hunger, which it's not an emergency. It's okay to have a little bit of hunger, right? But your hunger is going to end up turning into a ravenous hunger. You're going to be starving. And then at the end of the day, you end up overeating or even binge eating, which is something a lot of people struggle with. And that's because they're way too restrictive throughout the day. It's the same thing with the weekends, right? Why you struggle with the weekends? You're good Monday through Thursday because you're restricting, right? You're over restricting. You're eating spinach, you're eating lettuce, you're just eating boring foods. And then the weekend comes and then you say, I need a cheat day. I need a cheat weekend. I'm tired of my diet, right? So don't wait too long to eat. Don't let your hunger turn into ravenous hunger, okay? Having a little bit of hunger and sitting with it is okay, but don't let it linger on for the whole day. I don't want you to do that, all right? So here are some reasons why you're struggling with overeating. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know. I would appreciate it if you shared this video with someone. But yeah, appreciate you. If you need help, I'm always here. And we'll chat soon, all right?